We're following up here again with the idea of dialectics. I want to bring in here an example from daily life. Does your partner respond to your text as quickly and consistently as you wish, or might you be infringing on their autonomy by expecting too much constant contact? Alternatively, does your partner get upset with how long it takes you to respond? Are you allowing your autonomy needs to outweigh the needs of your relationship? In this age of ubiquitous texting, you see instances where one partner texts more frequently than the other. Some people just don't prefer texting. Some people are busy. This can cause conflict if the person who texts more interprets their partner's less frequent texts as a sign they don't want to talk. I'm going to talk about a research example of the dialectic. In this case, we have what I call the jumping game study. This study examines the effects of a goal conflict. You have a person who wants to pursue their own goal versus help their partner. This can be seen as an example of autonomy versus connection. Do you want to do your own thing, or do you want to do something with your partner? So greater conflict between goals should lead to greater stress. In this case, we're assessing it with higher blood pressure, greater self-control depletion, or in other words, using up your resources, your ability to keep doing effortful things, kind of like fatigue. And that should lead to poorer consequences. And so in this case, we're looking at increased craving for alcohol use. This should only be problematic for people who question their partner's caring. If you are comfortable with your partner in a relationship, you should be more comfortable negotiating this dialect. So we had 88 couples, or 176 individuals in the study. Half were married, and the other half were cohabiting. They were on average 28 and 27 years old for men and women. We measured how much they think their partner cares for them using a subscale of the personal assessment of intimacy in relationships. This subscale asks questions like, my partner really understands my wants and needs. My partner listens to me when I need someone to talk to, things like that. So this was our method of seeing how comfortable they are in the relationship. To what extent do they believe their partner values them and their needs? Then we manipulated goal conflicts, 3 different conditions. The high partner interference or selfish condition, that's the experimental condition. We also had a low partner interference control condition. And then we also had a high computer interference, another control condition. This study used deception with a cover story. One partner, we tell them, is going to be assigned to this game. They're going to be doing something called the jumping game. And in this jumping game, it's modeled after an old Nintendo game called Fire. You have diplomats jumping out of the US Embassy, and they have to be caught on a stretcher by guardsmen who are going to help them bounce over to the truck to get out of here. They bounce multiple times on this stretcher until they reach the truck. If you don't line up the stretcher correctly, they fall out of the game and you lose a point. So we tell them that they get points for every jumper that they save, but they lose points for every jumper that they miss. And then they're told that the other partner is assigned to the matching game. Both partners are told this, so they're led to believe they'll be randomly assigned to one game or the other. Right? And here they're told, okay, you're going to be given this screen where you have a figure on the top, and you have to match it by shape or color to the figures on the bottom. In this example here, we have a red triangle that says match by shape, so you would match it with the blue triangle. They would have a series of these puzzles, and they're going to go very, very quickly, queuing up on the side here. So people can quickly get behind, and they can have a very long queue. They're told that each puzzle must be completed within 10 seconds. If the puzzle is answered correctly, they'll receive 1 point. If the puzzle is answered incorrectly, nothing happens. If the puzzle is not answered, they'll lose a point. So you can see here that we're trying to prioritize getting some sort of answer no matter what. If you answer, you don't lose points. If you fail to answer, you lose a point. If puzzles pile up, they can send one of the puzzles to the partner doing the jumping game. So you can see that this puzzle now overlaps the jumping game, and the partner who's doing the jumping game has to answer the puzzle before they can go back and save their jumpers. And so they lose jumpers while this is on the screen. Each puzzle answered by the jumping game partner earns a matching game partner half a point. So there should be motivation to send it to their partner. It's better to send the puzzle to the jumping game partner than to let it expire, even if answered wrong. Then the partners are taken to separate rooms. In reality, both partners played the jumping game. In the low partner interference condition, there are 3 interruptions over the course of 15 minutes. So it's only about once every 5 minutes. But in the high partner interference condition, there are 30 interruptions over 15 minutes. So they are interrupted about every 30 seconds by their partner. In the high computer interference, it's 30 interruptions, but they know the computer is the source of the interruptions. They don't think it's their partner. Right? And then we measured systolic blood pressure. We measured that over the course of the study 6 times. We measured self-control depletion using a hand grip. One way to think of this is how long people can persevere at an effortful task after having just completed an effortful task. This is a common measure in the literature. And then we also assessed alcohol urge, so how much they wanted to drink alcohol at this moment. First, I'm going to show you our findings for elevated blood pressure. On the x-axis, we have perceived partner caring ranging from low to high. We're going to have low partner caring on the left and high partner caring on the right. We also have systolic blood pressure on the y-axis. Higher systolic blood pressure in this case would indicate greater stress. Right? You can see the low partner interference and the high computer interference don't really differ much in terms of blood pressure here for those who perceive low caring. But the high partner interference condition is considerably higher. So that was different from the other 2 conditions. When people perceived low partner caring, which was the baseline measure, they generally thought their partner didn't care about their needs. Perceiving that their partner was interrupting them and repeatedly really increased their blood pressure. We did not see that effect for high self-esteem or high partner caring people. So if they believed their partner really cared about their needs, there was no difference across conditions. Then we looked at self-control. So this is seconds squeezing the hand grip on the y-axis here. So here, higher numbers are better. We found that for those who perceive low partner caring, the difference between the 2 control conditions was not big. In the high partner interference condition, they squeezed the hand grip for much less time, showing less self-control when they believed their partner was interfering with their goal pursuit. We did not see that effect for those who perceived high partner caring. If anything, there was a trend for them to show less self-control when there was a lot of computer interference. So that suggests those Windows updates really are annoying. Finally, we assessed alcohol urge. That's alcohol urge on the y-axis. Higher numbers are worse. They suggest that people are attempting to drink to cope with stress. If they did not perceive much partner caring, there wasn't much difference between the 2 control conditions, but they really wanted a drink in the high partner interference condition. And again, we didn't really see that difference for people who believed their partner really cared about their needs. Right? So in summary, people who perceived their partner didn't really care for their needs showed more stress as measured by systolic blood pressure, weakened self-control or lower perseverance on the hand grip task, and increased alcohol urge after receiving more interruptions from their partner. So when the partner was interfering with their goal pursuit. And this was specific to their partner. It wasn't just any interruption. Remember, for those who perceived low partner caring, there was no difference between the computer condition and the other control condition. Among those who perceived high partner caring, there wasn't really an effect of the interruptions.